right, you're watching Sunday Live. Welcome back.
That's right. It is what, 21 minutes past the hour?
21 minutes past the hour.
There you go. Now, in a quest to get Kenya to feed itself, the Jubilee government launched the ambitious Galana Kulalu irrigation scheme back in 2014. There were great expectations for the flagship project that promised 40 million bags of maize by its completion date, 2017. Now, to date, as 2020, slightly more than half the 10,000-acre model farm is under irrigation, with plans to get private sector involved. Now, on tonight's National Reminder, our very own Victoria Rubadiri takes you back to the 2013 manifesto promise. Take a look.
7 years ago, the Jubilee Party's manifesto for 2013 to 2017 promised to, quote, within 5 years, put 1 million acres of land under modern irrigation. They started delivering on that 250 billion shilling promise by unveiling one of Kenya's largest irrigation schemes back in January 2014. A vast 1 million acres spanning the Tana River and Kilifi counties. Once completed, the project would see 500,000 acres of land put on maize production, 200,000 acres to sugarcane, 150,000 acres to beef and game animals, 50,000 acres to horticulture, 50,000 acres to dairy animals, while a further 50,000 acres to be dedicated to growing fruits such as mangoes and guavas. The scheme that was the Jubilee administration's flagship project to attain food security was to be completed by 2017 and intended to produce 40 million bags of maize on completion. Initially, the government started with a 10,000-acre model farm that was run by Israeli company Green Arava Limited. In September 2015, the Galana Kulalu scheme yielded its first harvest from 165 acres of maize crop.
We started with 500 acres. By March, the entire 10,000 acre farm will be complete. So you'll see more tons of maize coming from here.
Now, according to the National Irrigation Authority website, the first harvest yielded 1,790 kilogram bags of maize per acre, which was right around the national average of 18 bags per acre per year. However, it was far below the 40 bags per acre that was promised. By that time, well over 7 billion shillings had been pumped into the project. And in 2017, the deadline year, the government's expectations of 40 million 90 kilogram bags of maize from the expansive 1 million acres were very different from the reality on the ground. Only 5,000 acres of the 10,000-acre model farm were under crop, with 85% of the infrastructural work complete.
Like you can see behind us, acres and acres of maize. We have 4,800 acres left to make up the first 10,000 of phase 1.
Fast forward to today, and the numbers remain relatively the same. Still, half of the 10,000-acre model farm is under crop, with 85% of the infrastructural work complete. The project can only speak of 119,090 kilogram bags of maize to date. So what happened? Was it money? Well, taking a look at the budget allocations, 4.5 billion shillings was set aside in the 2013-2014 financial year, another 3.5 billion shillings in the 2014-2015 financial year. Then 3.5 billion shillings in 2015-2016, followed by 3.2 billion shillings in 2016-2017. And 600 million shillings in 2017-2018. In the 2018-2019 financial year budget allocation, irrigation projects that included Galana Kulalu were all awarded 8.5 billion shillings. There was no specific amount earmarked for the project. And in June last year, the National Irrigation Authority promised to revive the project, taking over some activities. However, only 10 million shillings was allocated in the 2019-2020 budget, a significant drop from the billions it attracted in the previous years. Now, management of the project also came under scrutiny, from missed and pushed deadlines to unfavorable weather and failure to honor payments. The acrimonious relationship between the National Irrigation Authority and the contractor, Green Arava, ended in May this year when the contract was cancelled. Right now, the project is under the watch of a committee of 10 principal secretaries on implementation of government projects and other top officials under the National Development Technical Implementation Committee, chaired by Interior PS Karanja Kibicho. The government in July this year announced it would lease land in the project to private sector. Between 600 million and 700 million shillings is needed to finish the remaining 4,800 acres of the model farm.
We are committed to make sure that this project is not a white elephant.
I want to assure Kenyans that indeed the issue of producing maize in this Galana farm is successful.
6 years on, the over 990,000 acres of idle land straddling Tana River and Kilifi counties serve only as evidence of what could have been in Kenya's quest to feed her people. That's the national reminder for the week, lest you forget.
Right, my goodness, well done, Victoria. What?
Yeah.
What? Only 10,000 acres, right?
Right, so that's the model farm.
Right.
So far, 5,200 acres are under irrigation. They want to get private sector in to complete the rest of the 10,000 acres.
Yeah.
But then now the other 900,000 is the big question. What's going on with that acreage of land?
And the promise of 40 million bags of maize.
That never happened by 2017. Only 119,000 90-kilogram bags were done by that
Isn't that
time.
a shame?
Yeah.
We're standing by to speak to the Principal Secretary overseeing the Department of Sanitation and Irrigation. He's actually at Maji House. Joseph Irungu will be joining us very shortly. I think we're dialing into him as we speak. But my goodness, what a white elephant.
No, absolutely.
And the insisting it's not.
The questions just abound even in terms of how the money was spent. You saw how it went from billions in the first couple of years to just 10
million last year.
Million in the last 2 financial years. So, the question also on the contract with Green Arava, many people wondering what happened because, Israel is known for its drip irrigation.
Yep.
It's quite successful in other parts of the world. Yep. So what happened in Kenya? And of course, we'd want to get those questions answered from the PS.
Yeah, it's such a shame, huh? Such a shame. But hey, I'm glad you highlighted it in the national interest, in the national reminder.
We need it to. Food security is a big issue here in the country, So when we're talking about such issues and big promises, Kenyans had great expectations for this.
Absolutely. We were delaying, apologize. We finally did get the PS, have got the PS. Joseph Irungu is the Principal Secretary overseeing the Department of Sanitation and Irrigation in the Ministry of Water. Mr. Irungu, welcome to Sunday Live.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff, and Victoria, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. PS, let me begin with why the project was scaled down so significantly. Initially you were talking about 1 million acres. To date, we are still talking about work on the 10,000 acre model farm. What happened?
Thank you, Victoria, and you have rightly put the story correctly that we have had our challenges with the Galana Kulalu food security project. And initially we had contracted a company, an Israeli company, to do this farm for us. And we have a couple of experiences we have gone through. And eventually, like you said, we had to terminate that contract in May 2019. And I think that partly explains the reasons that we could not produce the bags of maize that had been envisaged earlier on. So that could partly be the reason that we went through that.
Okay, PS, if I could just ask you, don't look at your phone, just look at the camera that's in front of you. It's better. There you go. Just look, there you go.
Okay,
perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So let me simply ask you, PS, as you look into that camera, what went wrong?
Now, I think we had a contractor who was a little bit non-responsive because we put our terms and conditions on how we wanted to do that farm. First and foremost, the technology that was put on the farm was not the one that we had initially envisaged. So when we wanted that collected, I think we had contractual issues that arose, and they were not handled at that particular time. So, but I think this is water under the bridge now, because we have a very good plan for the future, and I think we would be able to retrieve all that was lost at that time.
By the way, yes, that same contractor, Israeli, they had come with a lot of promise, with a lot of intentions, with good intentions. That same contractor left and said, you people are the most corrupt on the planet. You people are the ones who messed it up. That's what they said.
Well, I think that is not fair on them to say that, because we have a couple of contests that we have, and this being a contractual matter, I may not be able to talk it out here. We have already raised our issues. There are about 5 issues that we want handled by that contractor, but the contractor, instead of handling them, he went on accusing government of being corrupt, like you said, which was not the case. And I think they have to table the evidence on that, because we do not have any evidence. So they have to come forward with the issues. If they have them, we have ours, and we have pressed them on them, but they have not been responded to so far.
Boniface, let's talk about the money, because we saw in every single financial year from 2013 up until now, the project was attracting billions, 3.5, 4.5 billion one year, down to 10 million in this financial year. You know, what informed that, and where did the money go?
Well, Victoria, I think issues of money have to be, we audit monies. These are government monies. This was our own, actually, that was given by the Bank of Leumi from Israel. And I think we have audit reports that have been made over the years. All we know is that the project was contracted at 7.2 billion Kenya shillings. What was spent until we terminated the contract was around 5.9. So we still have some money that was not spent. And when we wanted to account for the 5.9, that's when the issues arose. And that is the reason that we say that being a contractual matter, the matter may be headed to an arbitration board, because that is what is provided for in the contract. So I may not be able to give, but we have audit reports if you wish to produce them. They are there, they are available, so that we can be able to tell what happened with the money.
But Boniface, how does 5.9 billion only account for, right now, what is it, 5,200 acres? That's half of the 10,000 acre model farm. You have not touched at all the 1 million acres that was supposed to have been done by 2017. So how do you account for 5.9 billion to just 5,200 acres? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly, Victoria. This is the same question we are asking. You have just asked the way we have asked ourselves. We wanted the contractor to account for the 5.9 billion Kenya shillings that have been spent. And that is the reason that we are in dispute with him. And I think in the fullness of time, we will be able to, maybe possibly to get that answer when we get to the arbitration board.
But as the accounting officer, I'm sorry to interrupt, PS, as the accounting officer, you should have that answer.
Well, like I said, the money was spent on the farm, apparently, and we used to pay the contract. The contractor used to be paid the money. We were not implementing the project ourselves. So the contractor was given the money to go and implement the 10,000 acre model farm. He did only, the 85% you said finished. 15% is not complete. And the bags of maize that we talked about were not produced. And we have, since we terminated the contract, we have ourselves managed to do 3 seasons. And the 3 seasons have given us an average of 28 bags per acre. Because we envisaged 30 bags per acre then. We have managed 28 ourselves, although that is not even our core mandate. Ours is to manage the infrastructure. So basically, these are the same questions, like you are asking. We are also asking the same. And since it's a contractual matter, like I said, it may not be appropriate for us to, because we may not be able to answer those questions.
But even if it's a contractual matter, it's a failed project, PS. It's a failed project.
Victoria, I think that is not the right description of this. It's not a failed project. And you have shown very, very good photos that have been to the farm myself. And I know some of your people have also been to the farm. It's a beautiful one. And we have done it three times now. We have realized that we are selling the maize actually, and we are making profit. So what we need to do is to find out where did we go wrong. And we went wrong by, getting a contractor who was not listening to us, with us rather. And now we want to get to the private sector. We want to get to the private sector that can be able to lease the farm. First, we begin with a 10-acre model farm. This is the one we want to finalize, and the government has accepted to allow us resources. So that by June next year, we finalize on the 10,000-acre model farm. Then eventually we upscale the discussion to the 1.75-acre, the entire Galana ADC farm. So that's where we are as a ministry and as a government.
Bwana PS, with all due respect, and I say this with a lot of humility, you have failed Kenyans. You failed us. And Kenyans need an explanation. If someone can tell us, yes, the money was stolen. Yes, we ate the money. And then we move from there, Bwana PS, because right now, unatufanya ujinga, ndugu yangu bana. Unatupima ujinga.
I think, Jeff, you are a little bit hard on us. And I think that may not be the right description to use on us as a ministry. I think what we need to do is to audit. And rightly, we get through those audit reports. Of course, these are public funds, and they're subject to being audited. We look at those audit reports. If there is anybody culpable, if there is any corruption, like you said, then people will be, of course, there's the judicial system that should take care of that. But I think you are describing theft the way you are describing it. I mean, it is not factual, because we do not have the facts as yet.
So what's the plan for the project moving forward? Will you still put the 1 million acres under irrigation, or are you still looking to complete just the 10,000 acre model farm?
Victoria, we have the model farm to complete, and that is what we have embarked on. To do the 15% left, we lay the infrastructure that was meant to be laid. We do the distribution of the water to the acres that are left, and then thereafter, we want to open up the 1.75 acres to other programs. First and foremost, we need to resettle the people who come from the host communities. We are resettling about 30,000 families on the 1.75 acres, and then 1.75 million acres, and then we also bring on board the people who can be able to lease the blocks. We have four categories of blocks. We have 10,000 blocks. We have 5,000 acre blocks. We have 1,000 acre blocks, and then we also have 100 acre blocks. So those ones will be leased to people depending on the capacity. We can only succeed in the 1.75 million acres if we brought in PPP, and that is what exactly we want to do. We want to develop the infrastructure there. We have roads that lead to that farm. They need to be done. We need energy there. Actually, we are running our pumps using generators. So these are some of the plans that we have. We need to put a bridge. We have a 250 meter river that we need to do a bridge across, so that we can be able to improve on the infrastructure. And then eventually we also give the pastoralists land that they can be able to put the animals on. So that is the plan that we have. And we have the first phase is finishing the model farm by June next year. We do the infrastructure. I talked about the road, talked about electricity, and then we can be able now to open up the place for resettlement basically, and then for other enterprises that can be done on the farm.
And before I let you go, Bwana PS, for the sake of clarity, when you say people, private sector, who exactly are these individuals or firms? Because initially, this project was also to help uplift the communities that would host this land in Kilifi and in Tana River. So would local farmers also benefit from this as well? Or is this just big companies that can afford to put huge swaths of land under irrigation?
Well, the 30,000 families I talked about are going to be the biggest beneficiaries, because they are going to get 10 acre blocks. So you can multiply the 300, the 30,000 families times 10 acres. Those are going to be the biggest beneficiaries. The others, 200,000 acres will go to the pastoralists. But then, like I said, we have blocks. And the blocks will be, like I said, 10 acres, landing to 100 acres. And depending on the capacity of these people that you'll be able to lease, because they'll be leasing from government, then those are the ones that you'll be able to possibly lease from government, and then they can be able to do either ranching, or they can do agriculture for those who can manage. And they are going to model with the model farm that we have. Because the farm, we are not only growing maize like you said, we are also demonstrating other crops. We have BT cotton, we have pawpaws, we have all manner of crops that we are demonstrating. And the farmers can be able to model themselves on what we have on the farm.
All right, Bwana PS, I can guarantee you one thing. Victoria Rubadiri and our team here at Royal Media Services, we will continue on this story, okay? So be aware that we're going to stay on this story until, we get some positive results. Sawa, can we guarantee that?
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I also continue appealing for you anytime you need me to clarify, because it's a journey that we have begun. It has not been very easy since the 2013, you said. This is a project that was in the Jubilee Manifesto, and it has not delivered as was envisaged. Let's keep on this story as we move on, so that we can not only account for the 10,000 acre model farm, but also on you've heard that there are a number of PSs, a number of state departments that are participating in the journey as we move on. And we'll be able to appear, either I'll appear personally, or we can appear in groups, or appear because the tasks have been divided into various state departments, so that we can be able to finally deliver what Kenyans expected.
All right. Joseph Irungu, Principal Secretary overseeing the Department of Sanitation and Irrigation at the Ministry of Water, live from Maji House. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Vicky, good job on that story, huh?
Thank you.
I'm sure we're
continue.
Stay on it.
It's a team effort, indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a break right here. Come back. Still plenty more ahead, including a story from Turkana, right?
That's right.
The waters are flooding.
By Raquel Muigai.
Oh.
She tells us more after
Keep
this.
tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Vicky Rubadiri.
At Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is Sunday Live. Sunday Live takes a break. We'll be back in the meantime. Coming up.